Winter storm warning for Friday and Friday night. Good Thursday night, East Tennessee. David Aldrich, Captain Accurate here from the Captain Accurate Weather Command Center. Well, we started the morning off at 16 as expected, but it was much colder outside of Knox County. There's no question. It was 11 in Crossville, 12 in Oneida, 13 degrees in Newport in the heart of Cock County. That was our starting point. Did we get much warmer with full sunshine? Yeah, a little bit. We got above freezing. We hit 34 degrees as expected here in town, 36 for Sevierville. It was 31 in Jamestown and Middlesboro, just to give you a sample. Now, the almanac shows where things are in perspective. 48 is typical. We were 14 degrees below that, normal. And we had a low of 16 that occurred just around 7:47 a.m. based on the numbers and records at McGee-Tyson Airport. They saw a high of 38 in Memphis, 30 in Johnson City, was only 20 in Charleston, West Virginia. Can you imagine 20? You spend the whole day in the teens and you struggle to get to 20. That's how cold this air mass is. And as of 8 o'clock, we're at 27. But I thought you said the low would be around 23. It will be around 23. But after 1 o'clock in the morning, it starts to rise. Now, why would it do that? We're going to see more clouds overnight. So once the clouds roll in, temperatures will slowly begin to ascend. They'll begin to rise. So you'll wake up most likely where we are now, in the upper 20s, 27, 28. Wouldn't surprise me if that's where we are first thing tomorrow morning on the Friday, which of course is the big winter storm day. Meanwhile, the wind chill feels like 23 because all we have, I think, is what, a 3-mile-an-hour wind? It doesn't take much. A little bit of wind. That's all it takes before the wind chill takes effect. Now, the clouds are increasing already in Nashville. They're already moving into Memphis with some of the wintry mix to the west of Shelby County. But it's only a matter of time. First thing tomorrow morning, I think around 7, we're going to see this begin to affect our region. Last January, many of you remember, it's still a legendary thought. Oh, yes, where were you on the 14th, 15th, and 16th of January, 2024? When we picked up 8.5 inches of snow. No, we didn't. I had 11. Some of you said that. I had 12. I had 10. The airport had 8.5. So let's work with 8.5, shall we? We had 8.5 inches of snow. It was super cold. The winter of 2022-2023, we had a measly 1.6. That occurred the day after Christmas. Do you remember how some of the Facebook reaction was? Oh, it's the day after Christmas. It doesn't count. It's not a white Christmas. It's a white day after Christmas. People are never happy. You know what I'm saying? It's just the way social media goes. You just have to roll with it, which I've learned to do. But you'll notice that 8.5 inches was 5.3 times more snow than the winter prior, and the normal Knoxville winter yields 4.6, which again is about 1.85 times more snow than last winter compared to normal. It's amazing, though, because who would put the thought of putting all this into a graphic? Yours truly would. And I want to also mention the 16 degrees we had this morning. It was the coldest morning since last January. Oh, yeah, it was the last time. We were 6 degrees on January 21. We were 10 degrees on January 22. So you got to go back almost an exact year ago since it's been this cold in the morning. Now, my expectation is it's not 8.5 inches. No. I think we're 2 to 5, and that's generous. Because if we get some mixing, freezing rain, sleet, those are those little translucent ice pellets. You know, ding, 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 ding. It hits the windshield. People say, I don't know what it is. What is this? It's sleet. What is this? It's ice pellets. Same thing. Tomato. You pick how you want to describe it. It's going to make a messy, treacherous road situation. And I'm going to show you road conditions. Who else would show you that? 7 a.m. Friday is when I think this will get going. I did modify it. I mentioned to my preview members at 2:35 this afternoon that this was speeding up. It's speeding up. It is. So it's going to be here on your doorstep sooner than the 11 a.m. time frame I was expecting just a day or so ago. I said the weather changes. It changes on a dime. The data's constantly in flux, and I've got some great illustrations to prove it. But if you get 2 to 5 inches of snow, great. But if it mixes in with some freezing rain and sleet, boo. I'm just the messenger. It should be tapering off by 7 a.m. on Saturday. Now, to be fair, the National Weather Service, the office in Morristown, which governs us in Knox County, and the National Weather Service in Nashville, which governs Cumberland County and Fentress County, and all the way toward Cookeville and westward, those offices tend to use, they like to speak in unison, right? They like to be on the same page, and why not? It's a good thing, right? But there's no mention of the mix. Did you notice that? Boy, people tell me that all the time in the comments of Facebook. They say, you know, the Weather Service, they're showing 3 to 6. They don't mention a mix. They did yesterday, and then they pulled it back. I wonder if they were obligated to speak in one voice. If that's the case, fine. But if you go into my app, you click on the text for winter storm warning, you will not see at the present time the word mix. All you'll see in quotation marks is heavy snow, 3 to 6 plus. Now, do you think that's prudent when I show you this? Is there any mix possibility based on this particular model? One of many that would suggest we're getting some sleet. Oh, but that's just Chattanooga. No, I think it's in some areas in the orange. That would be sleet, icy pellets. There's a possibility. You get a little bit of that. That could be underplayed. And if we get some freezing rain, which is a possibility, let's move this clock forward. You get some freezing rain accumulation. I'm looking at Tellico Plains. You might be a prime suspect to get 300ths. Maybe you get 400ths of an inch of freezing rain at a minimum. We'll have to wait and see. It could make things very treacherous, no doubt. A winter storm is never easy to travel through, so we make sure that you're in place before it gets underway. The ultimate Doppler radar presented by your local Marco's Pizza, not showing much of anything with clear skies at the moment, but we'll see things change in the coming hours. By the way, Marcos.com, if you want some delivery, tonight would be a great night. That way they're not putting themselves in danger of icy roads. Those folks, the Marco's Pizza delivery guys and gals, they're in Hardin Valley, they're in Farragut, they're in Maryville and Fountain City. You can find them at Halls, Oak Ridge, Middlebrook Pike, and Ebenezer Road. If you want something magnificent, try the Magnifico, the pepperoni, for less than $10. Or if you want something extra, you could do the all-meat, the garden, or the deluxe, which I highly recommend if you want Italian sausage, onions, green peppers, and mushrooms. It's delish. All right, let's get to the weather. There's Knoxville. This is a 6-hour loop. And I wanted to show you how dynamic this situation is. I was thinking, what city, which is dealing with the storm now, what city on this map would be a comparable city? What city could you look at today that's probably going to bring that type of weather here? And I thought Dallas. Dallas looks perfect. Because if you look at this, it looked like it was mainly a snow event north of Dallas, like McKinney. But then as the evening wore on, now McKinney's getting more of a mix. Do you see what I mean? So you tell me, which precipitation type should Dallas have expected? Should they have expected ice? Yes. Some rain? Yes. Some snow? Yes. Well, you can't make up your mind. No, Mother Nature can't make up her mind. I'm just the messenger. And if you're not ready for a mix, and you want to put your fingers in your ears, and it's just 3 to 6 inches of snow, blah, 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 that's your business. But I know that there's likely to be a mix. So look at Dallas over the last 6 hours and let it soak in. It's a mix. And depending on the hour of the day, when's the snow starting in Dallas? It's a combination. It's changing hour by hour from Keller to Denton to McKinney to Sulphur Springs. You look at all these towns surrounding Dallas, and their precipitation type has been in flux. And it's going to be like that over here tomorrow. That's my expectation. More on that in just a moment. By the way, it's, again, talking about every county in Tennessee is under a winter storm warning. Amazing stuff as we head forward in time. The bigger picture, as we examine the larger view, this is a far-reaching storm. Look at the snow in Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma. It's all interconnected. And as you can see underlaid on the map, the purple and the pink, those are the winter weather advisories and also the winter storm warnings. And there are quite a few, numerous ones indeed. Drought Monitor came out this morning. Very little change in the last 7 days. It comes out every Thursday morning from NOAA. And it is worthy of noting that we're still under, in Knoxville proper, a moderate drought. Maryville, Sevierville, Pigeon Forge, and Gatlinburg, Newport are all under an abnormally dry, level 1. We go back to the north, Caryville, moderate drought. Tazewell, abnormally dry. Greenville, abnormally dry. But the worst areas, it would appear, are still Kingston, Harriman, Wartburg, and really Rockwood and Crab Orchard. Oak Ridge and Farragut, Hardin Valley, Carnes, Clinton are all under the severe drought in orange, as is Nyota and Athens. But it is also very dry in other parts of the state. You can see the national scene. A lot of areas are in desperate need of some rain, and there just hasn't been much to see as of yet. So far, we picked up over an inch of rain and melted snow, a little bit of ice from earlier this week or sleet. We're bound to get a lot more in the next 24 hours. By the way, snow with a mix Friday. I'm still maintaining, as I said, it's a good, healthy discussion. It's a healthy discussion. Is it better to be first with the big snow total map, or is it better to be right? And I said, well, I don't want to go all in on the snow just yet, because this thing's dynamically changing, as we saw from Dallas, right? The colors kept changing, the precipitation kept changing, and it all happened in just a matter of hours. So I got snow with a mix Friday. I got snow with a mix Friday night. But once it pulls away, it gets colder upstairs. Colder aloft will support just snow on its exit. So by the time we hit 9 o'clock tomorrow night, 10 o'clock tomorrow night, it's just snow, baby. That's it. So it's going to be on its exit. It'll exit as snow. But in the in-between stages, you're like, man, this is messy. This is treacherous, and it could very well be on bridges and overpasses especially. Cold sunshine will return on Sunday. That is my expectation. Let's talk about road conditions. Now, who else would show you this? Oh, that's kind of cool. I like that feature. Bring it on, Aldrich. Let me see, what am I going to see? For the next 24 hours, here's 8 o'clock in the morning where there could be some snow-covered roads in Nashville. There could be some snow-covered roads in Jackson, Tennessee. Now, these are 1 kilometer road conditions. It's model driven, mind you. This hasn't happened yet, but the key word there is yet. This represents 10 a.m. If you had to be on the roads and you were in Rogersville, you'd probably be fine. You're in Bristol, you would probably be fine at 10 in the morning. But if you were in Cookeville, man, I got snow-covered roads in Cookeville, 10 o'clock, Eastern time, potentially. And a little bit of a mix. You would say, I don't see a mix, says whoever, whatever venue you're listening to. But here looks like it's wet roads by 11 o'clock, and it looks like maybe a mix in pink, patches of ice. That's not good. So you got snow, you got a mix, you got ugly conditions at 2. It might even get worse at 3. I'd say 4 is pretty bad. Which looks better? I feel like an optometrist, not a meteorologist. Optometrist, does this look better or worse? Does this look, oh, that looks worse. What time is that? Oh, that's 4 o'clock. That's when the drive home typically occurs. Right, now you're on to that. If that's the drive home, let's hope that you never left the house from the beginning, right? Because there's a winter storm warning, as I mentioned at the top of this video. But clearly, the road conditions are going to be lousy, they're going to be tough, and there's no point in trying to get from point A to point B if you don't have to. Emergency workers, they're going to do their thing, but why risk it? Why put yourself in danger when you have peak there? That's patches of ice and snow-covered roads. Not a good situation. Heavier snows that look like La Follette, Jellicoe at 5, and so it goes. So that's the road conditions map. Let's talk about the bigger map of what's to come. This is a projection. Futurecast 2 a.m. Okay, 2 a.m. It's still clouding up here. Still clouding up. But by 7, yeah, we're game on, right? If this is fast enough, it lines up. Might start slow, but the intensity. And there's no debating. There's a mix there in Huntsville or Birmingham or Tupelo, Mississippi. But the question is, more importantly, does that mix really ever get a chance to come to Knoxville? I think it does. Maybe not at noon, although there's some pink patches there in Tellico Plains. Maybe not at 12 or 2:15, but it's certainly by 4 o'clock. I would think that there's a lot of areas in the Southern Valley that are getting a mix. And just because the coloring doesn't reflect it, it takes an average, right? Even though it shows blue, it might very well be a mix or a combination. Have you ever like pretzels, chips combination? You might get a combination, right? You're going to get the whole kit and caboodle. Who wants raisins in their potato salad? Not me. Not me. Although maybe separate, they're fine. But to put them together, this is for the birds. This is 5 o'clock Friday. And if I'm not mistaken, there's pink in Knoxville hiding underneath that trough. So this is why I said it's so important that you pay attention. This is a dynamic, changeable situation. This is representative of what happened in Dallas today. So what happened in Dallas can come to Knoxville just for a day, and that's tomorrow evening. I can't emphasize this enough. And then once we hit about 9 p.m., it's all snow. Well, how do you know? Because it gets colder aloft once it begins to pull away. There's 9 o'clock. Technically, 9:15. It's all blue. It's all blue at 10 o'clock, 10:15. It's all blue at 12:15 in the morning. So it's snowing again, and now you're trying to replenish what you might have lost in the terms of sleet, freezing rain. So I still think 2 to 5 is sufficient. It's more than sufficient of an expectation of what you're going to get snow. It's not just snow. Some people just want to put snow in their pocket. You know, you're living in a bubble, I think. We'll have to wait and see. But that's my advice to you. Again, as we move into 2 in the morning Saturday, move into 7 a.m., now the winter storm warning is over, and you have just what's left of the horseshoe effect. A couple of snowflakes in the Smokies and Plateau, and it fades away. And by the time we hit Sunday, it's nothing but sunshine and a beautiful day. But cold, Sunday's high, only 35. And we'll start the morning at 15. Oh, yes. And some of the Monday information, I think, is bogus. I think we've got another quiet day. Monday night, though, we could see a few mountain flakes. For tonight, though, 23. It's a mostly clear sky first. and then the clouds increase overnight, and temperatures will rise after 1 o'clock in the morning. Now, tonight, low temperatures early, about 15 for Jonesville, Middlesboro, 19 for Crossville, may dip to 19 in Greenville. But look at Friday, 33, we got a winter storm. We got ample amounts of snow, but then it changes to a mix. It might be a dynamic situation where you live, so be prepared for that. 33 for high in La Follette, 37 for Newport and Sevierville. You might get even some rain for good measure. There are some indications that some rain, just plain old rain, if it's above 32. If it's 34 and raining, it's probably going to be just plain old rain. But 7-day forecast, as I've highlighted, will be changeable down the road. We've got a 20% chance of snowflakes on Saturday morning. Sunday's beautiful, but it's cold. And then we go to some mountain snowflakes Monday night, and a few light snow showers possible from the northwest on Wednesday. But the cold day looks like it's Tuesday and Thursday of next week. By the way, if you haven't picked up the Captain Accurate weather app, I hope you'll do so. It's with Pete Michaels Traffic, the best traffic reporter in town. Just search the 2 words Captain Accurate at the App Store and Google Play. One of the many things I love about it is it now has a 10-day forecast for planning purposes, 48 hours of hour-by-hour data, satellite imagery mapping that's been improved. We've got power outages, and there may be some of those. And you might want to have it on the app. Isn't that nice? You get power outages, you got the drought monitor on the app, and you got air quality alerts in the summer when it's applicable, and other bug fixes. So the new update is fantastic. This is a sample of what the county and the state power outages looked like during Helene from earlier this past September and October. But the drought monitor can be found on the app. And if you want to join us on Facebook, join us on Premium. You get to be the first to see my snow forecast, not only in this type of event, but believe me, there's going to be more. There's going to be more this month. There's going to be more in the coming weeks of winter. And so just join us. It's only $4.99 a month. It's a bargain. It works out to 16 cents a day. And all you have to do is hit the subscribe button at the top of my Facebook page. This is the URL that'll get you there. We'd love to have you join us, even if it's just for a few months, because I think a lot of people who are in there, they've been with me for several years. Been doing this now for like 2.5 years for the premium, and a lot of folks love it. Well, my name is David Aldrich. Some people call me Captain Accurate. It's not easy being accurate, so weather doesn't surprise you. Please stay safe. Take care of pets and your family and your neighbors, and make sure everybody's cared for. We'll see you here next time. Take care.